Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. It's bright and early where I am. I don't know if you're watching this in the morning or in the evening or in the afternoon, but it's morning for me right now. It's bright and early, so this is my wake up voice and my wake up face. But I am doing this video bright and early because today I'm doing a video all about what I eat in a day as a vegan. So I've been officially a vegan for 1 year, just a little bit over a year. But before that, I always had a love-hate relationship with meats and animal products. I was vegetarian before becoming vegan. And then before that, I just ate whatever. But I never really liked meat. I would like the flavor of meat. I liked the gravy, but I never really liked meat per se. So it was very easy for me to become vegan. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I eat in a day. And let me warn you, I eat a lot because I'm still trying to keep my calories high because I don't want to have any deficiencies. And as you can see, I'm a chubby vegan. I've always been chubby. And my goal in becoming vegan is not to lose weight. Of course, you can lose weight being vegan, but that's not my goal. So I want to keep my calorie count high and not have any deficiencies in my body. I still want to nourish my body, and you should as well. So yeah, this is what I eat in a day. Also, I want to add that I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, and I am still learning as I'm going. So we can just learn together. Now, typically I fast. I fast in the morning. I don't usually eat until 12 o'clock. The only time that I eat before 12 is if my body is really feeling for something to eat. Typically, my body doesn't feel for something to eat until 12. So I kind of follow the flow of my body. However, this morning, I am feeling like I need to eat something. So I'm going to have breakfast before 12 today. So I've always loved the idea of just going outside and picking stuff and eating. I love that everything that we need comes from the universe. It comes from God. So I headed outside to get some fever grass. I love the taste of fever grass. No honey, no sugar, just the natural taste of it. I absolutely love. Along with my fever grass, I'm going to have some homemade granola. I made this granola a week ago, and I'm going to have it with some almond milk. I'm going to top my granola with some banana. I love local bananas. And once my fever grass comes to a boil, I take off the heat and just cover the pan and let it simmer and brew. So here's breakfast. It's pretty hearty. I have my granola topped with banana and chia seeds. I have a little fruit bowl with watermelon and kiwi, and I have my fever grass. This breakfast is going to last me for all of the morning. I also have my vitamins that I take after breakfast, and I'm having some echinacea and spirulina and vitamin D. So that's it. I'm going to start off with my granola, my homemade granola. If you want a video for my homemade granola, let me know. It's so simple, and it's better because there aren't any hidden sugars like in the regular granola. All right, so I'll start off with this, followed by my fruits, and then I'm going to have my fever grass. Now, typically, like my big sister told me, you should not really mix watermelon with other things. For some reason, when it gets in the stomach, it becomes a chemistry lab in there once you have watermelon in there. But I'm breaking the rules today because I want my watermelon with my breakfast. So just note that it's not a good practice. It's better to have watermelon all by itself, okay? So I'm gonna have my breakfast, and it may seem simple, it may seem light, but this is gonna hold me for quite some time. So I probably won't have lunch until about 1, 2 o'clock, okay? So yeah, that's it. After breakfast, I begin to prep for lunch. So I have some walnuts, and I'm putting some hot water on it so it can soak for about an hour. I'm going to let this soak. Be sure to cover your container with your nuts to keep the heat inside. I'm also soaking my mushrooms and I soak them in apple cider vinegar. I actually soak all of my veggies in apple cider vinegar to get rid of any impurities. An hour has passed and now I'm ready to make my vegan meat while all my veggies are soaking in apple cider vinegar. In my vegan meat, I have my walnuts, I have one of my mushrooms chopped, I have ginger, garlic, shadow benny, chive, green seasoning, homemade hot sauce. I have basil, rosemary, flavor pepper, all that is in there, and I grind it up to make my vegan meat. It looks and tastes just like mincemeat. Oh, how could I forget? There's also lime juice in there. Now, after it's minced, I put it in a container and I put it in the fridge for it to marinate. Just like you would regular meat, you allow your vegan meat to marinate as well. Breakfast was heavenly. It's now 11:51 a.m. and I am prepping for lunch. I'm not going to actually eat lunch just yet because I'm not hungry. I'm still full from breakfast. But I am prepping the same way you would prep meat. If you season meat with intentions of cooking it for lunch or cooking it for dinner, it's the same way we treat our nuts and our mushrooms. We marinate them, put them in the fridge so it'll get nice. All those juices from the green seasoning can soak in and it would taste heavenly by the time it's time to cook it. So I'm prepping for lunch. As you saw, I prepped my meat, my vegan meat, and now I am prepping the base of my salad. You can use any greens for the base of your salad. Today I am using pak choy because a lovely friend of mine who plants shared his pak choy with me. And that's another thing about being vegan. It's so good to just receive things with love and give things with love. So, you know, if you have a friend who's a farmer and they give you something, it's good to cook it and share back with that person. You know what I mean? So yes, my friend gave me some pak choy for free and I intend on sharing my salad with him today. All right, so I'm gonna use pak choy as the base of my salad. You can use kale, lettuce, whatever greens you want, spinach. All right, and so I'm just prepping that. I'm going to massage it with some olive oil because that just brings out the flavor of the leaves, and put that aside and leave that to marinate in some lemon juice and salt. All right, I am going to cut my pak choy in some long strips just like this, and I'm going to put them in a bowl and marinate them. I'm not going to marinate it too much because the rest of my salad is going to be very flavorful. So all I'm going to put in my pak choy is some lime juice. I'm going to put a little bit of green seasoning. I'm also going to put a little bit of liquid aminos, and I'm going to massage it with olive oil. Olive oil just brings out the flavor of the pak choy. So after I marinate it lightly, I'm going to put this in the fridge. I am prepping my veggies for my meat. You know by now, I love my food to be chunky and crunchy. I love to still taste the crunch. I love to taste the flavor of the veggies. Some people cook veggies and they overcook them so you don't even taste it because they don't really like veggies. But if you like veggies, you'd want to actually taste the flavor of it. So I'm chopping these up to put in my meat. I'm going to put these in my meat when my meat is done cooked. Well, my vegan meat. When it's done being cooked, then I'm going to add these veggies to it and just take off the heat and let it cook in the meat's heat so it won't overcook. So I have some onions, tomato, sweet pepper. I'm also putting mushrooms, even though I have mushrooms in my original meat. I'm also going to put some sliced mushrooms. Now, you can eat mushroom skin, but as you saw earlier, I soaked it. I soaked it in vinegar, apple cider vinegar preferably, to get out any impurities. But you can also peel the skin off. All right, so I've peeled the skin from this one. It's also important to get off any impurities from the stalk. All right, so you can just use your knife to scrape the stalk. Can you see that? See, I'm scraping off that white stuff off the stalk. Okay, and you can also peel it. So you have to get on the inside here, lift that up, and just use your hand to peel it. All right, so you can peel it, or you can just soak it and eat it with the skin on. The skin does have lots of nutrients, just like any other vegetable. Most time the skin is what has the main nutrients, so you don't have to skin it, but like I said, you should at least soak it in vinegar to get out any impurities. All right, so these are my veggies for my vegan meat. Nice and chunky. All right, let's get into the cooking finally. So I'm starting off with some coconut oil. I'm going to put a little bit of crushed garlic, followed by some crushed ginger. All right, I'm going to let that just fry up a little bit. I'm also going to add a little bit of green seasoning because I'm addicted to my mom's green seasoning. And I'm going to just toss that up a little bit. After tossing it, if you're using an electric stove like I am, I've lowered my heat to medium. Then I'm going to add some Cajun seasoning. I'm pretty addicted to Cajun seasoning as well. Then next I add some turmeric, just a little bit. After tossing that up for a little bit, I am next going to add my vegan meat. So we just threw that all in there and we're going to saute it for a little bit. Now keep in mind, you don't have to cook all of it all at once. You can keep half of it in the fridge and cook it another day, just like you would with regular meat. All right, but I'm choosing to cook all of it today because I'm sharing today. So you're just going to saute this on medium heat for a while and toss it up. Make sure that the seasonings are evenly in there. And then you're going to cover it and let it simmer on medium heat for a bit. While it's simmering, then if you want to add some pumpkin noodles like I am, some squash noodles like I am, then you can organize your squash noodles while that simmer. So I had some leftover squash noodles from a couple days ago, and I'm just going to put that on a sheet. I am going to add some sesame oil to my squash noodles. Just toss it in the sesame oil and pop it in the oven. I'm just making sure that they are fully coated with the sesame oil. I don't leave my noodles in the oven for very long, just about 15 minutes. Then take it out, toss it again, and put it back in the oven again. All right, but before I put it in the oven, I'm just gonna go back to my taco meat and add some liquid aminos. Liquid amino is a soy sauce substitute. It's less salty. I'm also adding some pepper sauce because I love it spicy. Once again, you're gonna toss it and make sure that it's evenly coated. And at this point, I add half of my chopped veggies. So I'm gonna go get half of my chopped veggies, put it in there, and then cover the pan and let it continue to simmer on medium heat. It's just been simmering for a while and look at it. Isn't it amazing? My oven is finally ready for my noodles, so I pop that in the oven for 15 minutes and then I just toss my meat again, and then I'm gonna add the other half of my chunked veggies. Remember, I don't want my veggies to overcook, so that's why I'm putting them in increments, because I want some of it to remain chunky and crunchy. So just doing a little taste test and it's pretty much ready. I'm going to take off the heat, but I'm going to leave the pot on the burner just so it can simmer in its own goodness. At this point, I'm going to take out my noodles and I'm going to add some spring onions, some chive on there, and I'm going to toss it up and put it back in the oven for a final 10 minutes. Then it will be ready. And here are my squash noodles. So that's it. This is my meal. At the bottom, I have my pak choy. Then I have some mango salsa that I made yesterday. I have some avocado topped with sesame seeds. I have my squash noodles. I also have my vegan meat. And then I'm just going to put some cashew sauce on the top of it. And that is my salad. It's so hearty. It's going to keep you full for hours. And of course, you don't have to put the exact toppings like I did. You can do whatever you want, whatever you love, you can add to it. And of course, avocado and mango, we only have this during a certain season. So I'm just taking advantage of the season right now and adding them to my salad. But you can add anything as your toppers to your salad, anything that's hearty. Here is lunch. A heaping salad. This is going to be so tasty. You know I have to taste for you, right? Where do I begin? Oh my God, I don't even want to disturb it. OMG. Where do I begin? I want everything in my mouth at the same time. Wow. Yo, this is so good. So, as you can see, I have my leftover cashew sauce on it. And this vegan meat, you can put it in the fridge and make a brand new meal tomorrow. You can make some pasta and have some of your vegan meat with it. You can put it in a sandwich, make a sloppy joe. All right, so this is all I have left of my cashew sauce. This is the completely raw one. This cashew sauce is completely raw. No cooked stuff in here. All right, but this salad is awesome. And I need to go sit down, give myself some leverage and dive into this. So I hope you make it. Enjoy. So it's raining outside now, and this is the perfect weather to cuddle up with some fruits and a book. So I have been reading All About Karma by Sadhguru, and I'm going to read it while having some fruits. I'm just having mango and some bananas. My sister brought these bananas for me. I'm so thankful. All right, so this is my snack for today. So because breakfast and lunch was so hearty, I'm probably just gonna have some leftovers for dinner. A little bit of squash pasta along with my vegan meat. That will probably be dinner. And maybe a cup of tea. That's it. So keep in mind that I am a preschool teacher, and right now we are in the July-August period where I do not have to work as much as I would have during the school term. Teachers don't ever really have a break. We still work during the July-August, but just not as much. All right, so that's why I have so much time during the day to enjoy my meals the way I do. But whenever I have to work, I would prep my meals and make it easier when I have to work and eat. So even if you don't have as much time as I do right now, even if you have to work, you can still prep these meals and warm them up, and it's like brand new. And yeah, so hopefully these meal ideas will be helpful for you while you're eating like a vegan. Even if you're not vegan, it's good to at least have one day of eating like a vegan. You know, just one day of no meat, no fish, no dairy products. One day. And then the other days you just eat whatever you want to eat. So at least try being vegan for one day with me, okay? All right, see you in the next video. I really hope you enjoyed this video, what I eat in a day. Bye. Leftovers for dinner.